Welcome back, subscribers, and welcome new viewers. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed, like, and share my videos because that helps to circulate all of my videos, my whole channel, to more and more individuals just like you who are needing this information. So thank you. And I want to give a special thanks to Julia out there. Hi, Julia. Thank you. You are the reason why I'm able to read this, and it's going to be transiting Pluto, going through natal 7th house. So anyone who transiting Pluto right now is going through your natal 7th house. This is for you. And so thank you again, Julia, for making it possible for not just you, but everyone like you who has that transiting Pluto through their 7th house right now. And today is March the 14th, 2022. And right now, Pluto is in the end degrees, and I don't remember exactly. I was going to check the exact degree. It's like 27 degrees, something later, in the later 20s, in Capricorn. So any of you who have your 7th house in Capricorn, then this video will be for you right now. So later on, it will be something different. It could be. And so you will check that for yourself. Okay. So let's get started here. And this is my first video doing Pluto, transiting Pluto through a house. So any of you who would like other videos like this, just let me know. Okay. The archetype or theme during this evolutionary process reflects an essential need to transform, change, or evolve attitudes, values, values twice, that's a typo, needs and approaches pertaining to close relationships or partnerships. As Pluto approaches the 7th house cusp, begins a transit to Venus. Oh, he's saying Venus because the natural house, the 7th house, is naturally the house of Libra, which the natural planet for Libra is Venus. And Venus also, for those of you that might not know this, Venus has two zodiac signs that the planet is for, if that makes sense. So it's Taurus and Libra. Their main planet is both Venus. And so, again, natural house of the 7th house is Libra for zodiac signs. So Venus and Libra. That's why he's mentioning Venus. Okay, so let me say that. I'll start that sentence over again. As Pluto approaches the 7th house cusp, which means the beginning, the cusp is the just going into the 7th house, begins a transit to Venus, or Venus by progression aspects Pluto. A karmic time frame exists wherein the individual may re-experience others with whom there have been past life associations. This initial karmic time frame can also bring renewed connections with people from earlier relationships in this life. Occasionally, the fleeting Venus transit to natal Pluto can also induce the situation for a few months. The specific kind of aspect will generally indicate the karmic basis of the contact. The stressful aspects will tend to promote the need to deal with unresolved issues between the two people. The non-stressful aspects will tend to promote a situation wherein the individual draws others who have positive and timely information to bring to him or her at this time. In either case, these individuals reflect the fact that the individual desires and needs to move on, to change, grow, and evolve into into new ways of being in a relationship. The need to change the past ways of relating, of redefining one's essential needs, is reflected in these conditions. The need to reevaluate draws these types of people into the individual's life. Those that promote confrontations due to unresolved issues induce the necessary awareness of past conditions that need to be resolved and changed. Those that bring timely messages reflect the same thing. The individual will be open to those people who bring these messages or who reflect what he or she is desiring to become. Conversely, the individual can manifest resistance to dealing with those who symbolize the past and embody old, unresolved issues. Because of the need to move on, all situations and people who represent the past will be perceived as being in the way of the new, the future. Thus, conflict promotes a resistance to dealing with the karmic factors implied in these contacts. Yet, they must be resolved because a new chapter or evolutionary cycle is unfolding in the individual's life. The past conditions reflected through these contacts must be resolved and fulfilled so that a new cycle can be born and manifested without the residue of the past contaminating the future. From another point of view, the confrontations induced through such contacts will promote an experiential awareness of the new needs within the individual. The experiential confrontation thus allows for an alchemical metamorphosis to occur through which the new needs, attitudes, and approaches to relationships can evolve into consciousness. Each case that reflects these conditions is unique. The specific nature or karma of what is being resolved between the individual and the other will be found through cross-chart comparison or synastry. In my view, the individual should be encouraged to fulfill and resolve the issues so that the karma with others can be finally eliminated once and for all. I recommend a psychological strategy wherein the individual resists the temptation to react instinctively in a confrontational way to those embodying the karmic past. The key is to develop an attitude of considered response, to view the situation in a dispassionate and reflective way. The individual can thus become aware of all the issues that have led to and created the situation, and can respond in appropriate and karmically necessary ways to resolve those issues. In some cases, this process can also bring into light old, unresolved issues between the individual and an existing partner. These issues may have been repressed earlier in the relationship, or they may resurface as unresolved problems from other lifetimes. These problems or issues can produce confrontations between the individual and the partner. In these cases, the need is not only to deal with these issues as they occur, but also to allow the existing relationship to change, grow, evolve, and redefine itself to reflect the new needs of each partner. The same strategy of considered response should be encouraged so that the necessary evolutionary metamorphosis can occur along positive lines. In some cases, this process will lead to the termination of existing partnerships, which they cannot be redefined because of compulsive resistance to the new evolutionary demands. One individual may perceive the other as being in the way of future needs. This can be the individual, him or herself, or the partner with whom he or she is involved. The other will perceive the individual who is demanding change as undermining and threatening existing emotional security. Whatever role or position the individual finds him or herself in, growth will occur, even though these experiences can be very intense and difficult. Occasionally, this evolutionary process will correlate to the death of a spouse or someone close to the individual. The non-stressful aspects will also stimulate growth. The main difference is that the individual and those that he or she is dealing with in these necessary ways will commonly understand the reasons for the experiences. With stressful aspects, the understanding occurs after the fact. The results, however, can be the same. In whatever way this evolutionary process is experienced, the need is the same: to eliminate or change past patterns of relating to others and to allow the new essential needs to surface into the consciousness. How beautiful. New ways of relating to others, new personal and social values, and new ways of relating to oneself will unfold at this time as a result. It is not uncommon for new people to manifest in the individual's life at this time. These new people will generally be very powerful and intense, and will tend to have a hypnotic and compelling effect on the individual because they will symbolize his or her new needs. Others can now perceive the individual in this light as well. As this process begins, these needs will not be well formulated in the minds of the individual or those that are attracted to the individual. Thus, the individual, or another that the individual is attracted to, symbolizes or embodies that which each subconsciously desires to become. Of course, if the individual or the other is in an existing primary relationship, this situation promotes its own kind of conflict and confrontation. The choices that are made regarding what to do about these attractions are critically important from a karmic point of view. When this situation is encountered, I would recommend the following strategies. One, if the individual or another who is attracted to the individual senses that the existing relationship has simply run its required course, that there is no more growth or usefulness in it for either partner, it is important to be totally open and honest about the new attraction. The existing relationship should be ended before involvement with another begins. Partners in the old relationship should spend whatever time is necessary to resolve the issues or conditions that led to the parting, to reflect together upon the entire nature and experience of the relationship so that it can be concluded in a positive way. Reflecting together can bring maximum knowledge to both partners about the nature of themselves and the relationship, and also can promote an ending with a minimum of hard feelings. The point is that this process can symbolize the fulfillment of an existing relationship that has run its natural course for this life. 2, if the individual or the other who is attracted to the individual senses limitation in the existing relationship because of the way that it has been defined, and yet also senses that it can change, then the person should spend the necessary amount of time working toward that end. New attractions to another or of another toward the individual simply represent a quote-unquote sign to the person that something is amiss within the existing relationship. This quote-unquote sign should be interpreted as a need to confront whatever problems exist so that the necessary metamorphosis can occur. If time is spent working toward this end and has produced nominal or no change, then the individual is karmically free to move on. The resistance of the partner now determines the course of action for the individual. The resulting emotional blow to the partner can perhaps induce a subsequent growth process for that person. In general, the key to working positively with this process is to be as open as possible to the new needs of the partner, and for the partner to be as open to the new needs of the individual. It is a time for change and growth, and will require that each person listen to the other in order to identify reality as it exists for each. In this way, each can give to the other what is needed according to their reality. If the partner or the individual experiences restrictions of growth in the relationship, then confrontations can occur, and the relationship may end if one or both of the individuals are defensive or closed to the new needs of the other. Physical problems that can arise during this evolutionary process will manifest themselves in the lower back, kidneys, spine, toxicity of the blood, intense headaches, hearing problems, urinary tract infections, congestion in the liver, and problems related to the heart chakra. Okay, that's pretty darn powerful, isn't it? Wow. I'm being called to say that. I'm going to read that, the physical problems again. Physical problems that can arise during this evolutionary process will manifest themselves in the lower back, kidneys, spine, toxicity of the blood, intense headaches, hearing problems. Isn't that interesting? Hearing problems. Urinary tract infections, congestion in the liver, and problems related to the heart chakra. Okay. All right, so that is all I have for you. And again, if any of you would like a written copy of this or of any of the past readings that I have done, just leave me a comment. Send me an email. I will need your email address. And all of my information, it's always in each and every, under each and every video in the drop-down box below. Okay? And I always love your comments, your thoughts, questions. Until next time.